Hi, my name is Dennis Win. Welcome to my Cloud Native Tech Chat about Istio Service Mesh. Today we are going to look at the invocation or calling of an Istio virtual service under the control of an ingress gateway. What I'd like to point out is any client requests have to be addressed properly to the virtual service in the first place before getting a chance for redirection to the service mesh workloads behind through traffic management or by other means. More specifically, we'll show how the settings of the host field for a virtual service will affect the way it's handled by the associated ingress gateway. As we all know, there are two modes of client access to an Istio service mesh. In most cases, we tend to see clients external to the service mesh use an ingress gateway to access the mesh. In the meantime, those inside the service mesh will rely on the local invoice sidecars throughout to connect to the mesh. Our focus today is on the ingress gateway access mode. Now, let's head right away to the key takeaway points. An Istio ingress gateway is governed by two fundamental principles to deal with a new virtual service request. First, to facilitate IP layer communication, obviously, the host part of the URL request must resolve to an external IP or cluster IP assigned to the ingress gateway itself. Second, the host part of the same request must match the host field settings defined in the virtual service manifest. We use an example to explain these two principles at work. First, a built-in Istio ingress gateway service is running as a Kubernetes service. Its name is Istio ingress gateway. Its type is load balancer, and it is assigned a cluster IP and an external IP as shown here. For the virtual service, we refer to the bulk info sampled app that comes with Istio. Here in this sample, the virtual service is named bulk info. The important part is about the host field of the spec. The host field is set exactly to this FQDN string, gateway.external.com. And the implication is all clients are required to use this given host name to request the virtual service. If we use an IP here instead of the host name in the URL, the request will be simply ignored by the ingress gateway. It also follows that such a host name, gateway.external.com, should resolve to an external IP or cluster IP assigned to the ingress gateway. And this is to ensure any client request will arrive at the gateway to get served in the first place. Coming up, we will move on to a hands-on lab, a hands-on demo, where we will try out different settings for the host field of the virtual service spec and see how they play out eventually. I'm going to set up the lab now. Let's catch up in a sec.